I've been in the stunt business about 45 years, and coming back and forth here, hanging out with Sandy, and having him talk about God, and helping, seeing him help people, seeing him help me with my family, my sons, made a big difference in my relationship with them. And but then also, I know doing stunts, there's a movie called Bad Boys 2. I was driving a Hummer, this yellow Hummer that goes down the hill.
Remember the Hummer that went through
all these buildings. Well, when they set it up, they set up a lot of practical things, like real refrigerators, real iron beds, real things, big wood, things that wouldn't break easy. So if we were coming down the hill and got in the air and we hit these hard things that spin out and go off a 60-foot cliff on each side. And so we got all that fixed up. They took all that stuff out, made things easier to go through. The next day we get there and I go through my prayer and talk to God, say, you gotta be here, help me, you're driving this car, all my guardian angels, spirits, all of you guys protect me. So I go down the hill, and on the way down I can't see anything. I go up through the air, come down, crash through stuff, and there's a guy up on the hill with an earphone, with a microphone. I have an earphone, and he's telling me, as he sees the buildings collapse, he says, go right or left. And so I'm listening for him, and I'm just going down this hill. And then he says, oops, I lost you. Which way do I go? And when I took off, I spent 2 days lining this thing up the way I wanted to go down the hill. And when I took off down the hill in the beginning, for some reason, my hands just turned the wheel, and I was like, who did that? Why did you do that? My line is over here. And so I ended up at the bottom of the hill where I was supposed to be, and during the course of that, something brushed my knuckles. And it was such a faint brush that I could recognize it really quick, and I had no idea what it was. I get to the bottom of the hill, and just to put up a safety barrier, they have the windshield up, and then they put half-inch Lexan, which is bulletproof, inside so it stops anything from coming through. I got to the bottom, and there's a piece of 1x3 pine wood, which is nothing. It had gone through the windshield, hit the plexiglass, Lexan, broke it, and then just as it brushed my knuckles, it turned and stuck in the door. Had it kept coming straight, it went right through me.
Wow.
So I know that I was being looked out after. And another little quick thing, my son was...
this is recently, his son.
This is a couple of weeks ago.
Watch this one.
He was going to, he's supposed to take a motorcycle, ride a motorcycle, and jump from the motorcycle into an open van. And so I'm thinking, okay, how are you going to get off that when you push the bike, it's going open, you're not going anywhere. You got to figure out how to get in there and still have the bike upright, and then a car's right behind the bike. So when he jumps out, the car runs over the bike. So they were working during the first part of the day, and it was hot, and they were in leathers and all this kind of stuff. So his hands started cramping up, and his legs were cramping up, and they were trying to hydrate, but they weren't hydrating quick enough, and then they were going to do the stunt. And so they said, okay, go and practice, see what you think. So he makes a run, and he goes to attempt to make his move, and his hands cramp up on the handlebars, and he can't get them off, and his legs are cramping up, he can't push. And so he comes back trying to be mindful. He says, yeah, I'm okay, I'm ready to go. And when he comes back and he's getting ready to go, I said, yeah, the motorcycle dies. And before that, that whole night, I was like, okay, you guardian angels, all you got, all mine, some of mine, all of his guardian spirits, God, you drive the motorcycle, you drive the truck, you drive the car behind him, all you angels surround him all the white light, get to me. I'm doing all this. And that day, that moment, he came back and the motorcycle died out. They couldn't get it started. So they said, okay, we have to go to let's just go to some other shops while you're trying to work on the bike. 2 hours later, after he had time to rehydrate, and all the cramps went away, the motorcycle started up. And they went and did the shot like 3 times. So
God shut it down because he knew that he wasn't ready. But he involved God. If you don't involve God, God doesn't get involved. That's what Kingi says in Proverbs 3:6. In all of your ways, acknowledge him. He directs your path. He becomes your GPS. But if you don't acknowledge him and you do it your own way, that's pride. The Bible says pride comes before destruction. A haughty spirit before a fall. He involves them. They know. People that really know, real men, real women, they know God. They want God involved because why live on this earth and just exist? Or go through an experience and tell everybody, you know, this is what happened to you. No. You have the victory through them.
A lot of times I've been helped. So thank you again.